Hello my dear students and welcome back to science. Today we are going to learn a new chapter, that is reflection of light. You have learned in your previous grades about our sense organs. You know how many sense organs are there? You are right, we have 5 sense organs. These sense organs are like eyes to see, ears to hear, tongue to taste, nose to smell, and skin to feel. Our sense organs makes us aware of these senses. Out of all these 5 senses, the sense of vision is the most important among these. Because of this sense, that is the sense of vision, we are able to see the hills, rivers, trees, people and objects around us. Only with this we can see the beautiful view of the nature like clouds, rainbow, flying birds, moon, stars, etc. So, therefore, we can say that sense of vision is the most important among all 5 senses. Because of this, we can be able to see what is there around us. But do you think so? It's only because of our eyes we are able to see? Let's perform a small activity. You know, during the night time, if suddenly the light is switched off or the current goes, what do you feel? You see that everywhere it is dark. And in this darkness, are you able to see anything around you? No. When we switch off the light at night, we cannot see the objects around us clearly. That means along with the eyes, there is something else which is required. Let's see what is that. Suppose when you switch on, when you turn on the light again, the objects around us are seen clearly. Correct? So when we turn the light on, again I repeat, when we turn the light on, we are able to see the objects around us. That means it is not only the sense of vision or the eyes which are important for seeing the objects around us, but even the light. So from this we can say that there is some connection between the sense of vision and the light. Correct? So from the above activity we have learned that there is a connection between the sense of vision and the light. When we switch off the light at night, the objects in the room cannot be seen and they can be seen as before when the light is switched on again. So thus we can see objects when the light coming from these objects enter our eyes. Okay. So the light coming from the object around us enters our eyes and we can see the objects. So that means only when the light falls on the objects and this light again from that object falls on our eyes, we are able to see the things around us. Okay. Also, we can say that the light entering our eyes may be emitted by the object or it may be reflected by that object. I repeat, the light entering our eyes may be emitted by that object or may be reflected by that object. Can you get a new term here? Reflected? Yes. So, light gets reflected from the object. So, now to understand this, let us learn more about the reflection of light. Okay. So, when the light rays fall on any object, you can see a torch of light is falling on an object like that of the mirror. Okay. So, when the light rays fall on an object, their direction changes and they turn back. You can see when the light rays are falling on an object, they change their direction and turn back. This is only called as reflection of light. That is, when light falls on any object, it changes its direction and turns back. Then this phenomenon will be called as reflection of light. Now, to learn more about how the reflection takes place, let us try to perform again a small activity. For this activity, we will require some materials like that of a torch, then a mirror, a stand for holding the mirror, then a black paper, a comb, a white paper, a drawing board. Okay, so let's try to perform a small activity. First, you need to take a white paper and we need to fix it either on the table or maybe on the drawing board with the help of the pins, as it is shown in this diagram here. Then you need to take a comb. Okay, now why you need to take a comb, you will understand now. You have to take a comb because the comb has opening all around. But these openings, you have to cover it with the black paper on both the sides, so that there is only one opening in the center of the comb. Okay, in the central position, so that the light can enter through this central position. So you have to take a comb, paste the black papers like this, leave only one space in the center, so that when you take a torch, light enters through this only one opening and not scattered through every opening. So we want only one opening, so we'll keep only one opening in the central position. Now what you have to do is that hold the comb perpendicular to the white paper in the dark. Okay, you have to keep the comb perpendicular. You know what is perpendicular? Perpendicular means you have to keep it at 90 degree to the surface of the white paper. Fine. Then you have to throw the torchlight on the comb, so that only a single beam of light will be passing through out of the comb. Okay, and now what you have to do is that adjust the comb and the torch light to get the rays to get these rays of light on the white paper. Now what we have to do is that we have to take one mirror in the path of this ray of light as shown over here. So what you have to do, you have to take the mirror now, hold that mirror with the help of a stand. Okay, and now you can see something here. So what do you observe here? Can you see something here? Yes. So in this activity we come to know that the light rays which falls on the mirror get reflected and travel in different direction. So you can see that the ray of light, which is a single beam of light which you can see, which is passing through the opening, okay, middle central portion of the comb, okay, falls on the mirror. Okay, it is incident on the mirror. I'm using a new term called as incident, that is falling on the mirror, strikes the mirror at a particular surface, and then it gets reflected back and it travels in a different direction. Now, if we change the direction of the light ray again falling on the mirror, you will find that the ray of light which is getting reflected also changes its direction. You can see it has changed its direction if you change the direction of the light rays, right? So, now let us learn something about what are these rays called as. The ray which is falling on the mirror is called as what? The ray which is coming after the reflection is called as what? Let us learn some new terms related to the reflection. Okay, now here you can see the light rays are falling on the mirror. Okay, and these light rays which are falling, blue color you can see, falling on any surface. Okay, any surface, whenever any light rays falls on any surface, those light rays are called as incident rays. Incident means they are incident on the surface. So such rays are called as incident rays. Now these incident rays are falling on the mirror at a particular point. Okay, at different particular points. So these points where the light rays are falling are also called as point of incidence. The point at which the an incident ray falls is called as a point of incidence. So here you can see three rays are coming out, and all these three rays have different points of incidences. Okay, so the point at which the incident rays falls is called as the point of incidence. Now after the reflection, okay, from the surface, the rays which are going away from the surface after reflection are called as reflected ray. I repeat, the rays going away from the surface after reflection. After reflection means after the reflection from the mirror are going away from that surface. Such rays are called as reflected rays. Correct? Now we have learned how many terms? We have learned 3 terms. One is incident ray, the rays which are falling on the surface. Okay? Then we have learned about what is a point of incidence. That is the point at which the incident ray is falling on the surface. That is called as the point of incidence. And third is the light rays which are coming away or going away from the surface after reflection are called as reflected rays. Right? Now, the direction of the reflected rays is decided by some rules. Okay, I repeat, the direction of the reflected rays are decided by some rules which are called as laws of reflection. So now let us learn some definitions before learning about these laws. So we have already learned now some terms, that is incident rays, point of incidence and reflected ray. Now let us try to do a small activity. For this also we will require a white paper. On this white paper, with the help of a ruler, we have to draw a line and name that line as line PQ, showing the position of the mirror. That means on this line we are supposed to fix a mirror. So remember, this is the line wherein the mirror will be kept. Now what we have to do is that we have to draw the incident ray. Let that incident ray be AO. Okay, so you can see one light ray is falling. The arrow is pointing towards the mirror. So the arrow which is pointing towards a mirror, which means that this light ray is falling on the mirror. So the light ray which falls on the mirror is also called as incident ray, and let us name this as AO. Now again let us draw. You have learnt just now that the light ray which falls on the mirror, the surface like mirror gets reflected. So let us draw another ray which is called as the reflected ray, and this ray can be we will name it as OB. Now what we have to do is that we need to draw a perpendicular in between the two rays, that is the incident ray and the reflected ray. Okay, so to the surface of the mirror, and that perpendicular is can be named as ON. Okay, it can be named as ON. Okay, so this ON is also called as the normal to the mirror. Remember, here now we have drawn an incident ray, we have drawn reflected ray, and in addition we have drawn another line which is perpendicular to the surface of the mirror, and that is called as ON. We have named it as ON, and that ON is also called as normal to the surface of the mirror. Okay, now that we have learned that since ON is perpendicular to PQ, okay, ON you can see it is perpendicular to PQ, that means angle PON will be equal to angle QON. You can see angle PON here, okay, and angle QON here. So angle PON and angle QON are equal, and both of them are equal to 90 degree. So you can see over here that we have drawn two angles now, that is angle PON and angle QON, which are both 90 degree. Now let us the direction of the reflected ray is decided by these some rules. Okay, now let us learn the rules over here. These are called as the laws of reflection. So what does the law of reflection says? Okay, now the law of reflection says that the angle of reflection is equal to the angle of incidence. Now you will understand what is that angle of incidence and angle of reflection. So when the ray of light which falls on the mirror, okay, it makes a certain angle, okay, with the normal. The normal means the perpendicular which we have drawn is called as it is making an angle with the normal. So here you can see, I will show it to you here. which is called as the angle of incidence. Okay, so this angle which is made by the AO, okay, AO with the normal is called as angle of incidence. Okay, so why? Because it is made by the incident ray. And what is angle of reflection? Angle of reflection is nothing but the one which is made by the reflected ray OB with the normal. That is called as angle of reflection. Okay, so here I have marked and shown you what is that angle of incidence and angle of reflection. So if you carefully see, you will find that the angle of reflection is equal to the angle of incidence, right? Why? It's because it is a law, and you will understand this when we perform a small activity based on this. Then second law says that the incident ray, okay, that is AO, okay, the reflected ray, that is OB, and the normal, that is ON, lie, all three of them lie in the same plane. If you see, all three of them are lying in the same plane here. You can see the incident ray, the reflected ray are on the opposite side of the normal. So you can see here that the incident ray and the reflected ray, if you see, they are on the opposite side of the normal. So these are three laws of reflection. First law says that the angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. Okay, then incident ray, reflected ray and the normal, all three of them lie in the same plane, whereas the incident ray and the reflected ray are lying on the opposite sides of the normal. So these are the laws of reflection, and you will understand this when we perform a small activity based on this. Then let us see what are the terms here. Okay, here ray AO is also called as incident ray. Point O is called as the point of incidence, as you have learned. Then ray OB is called as the reflected ray, and line ON is called as the normal. Okay, so therefore we can say that angle AON, you can say angle AON, which I have just now told you that it is angle of incidence. Okay, so angle AON is the angle between the incident ray and the normal. Okay, you can see angle AON is the angle between the incident ray AO and the normal ON. Okay, which is also called as the angle of incidence, and it is designated by the small letter I. Okay, second one, angle BON is the angle between the reflected ray OB and the normal ON, and it is designated by the letter R. Okay, so you have learnt now here the laws, three laws of reflection. What is incident ray, what is reflected ray, what is normal, fine, and you have also learned about which angle is called as angle of incidence and which is called as angle of reflection. Remember, it is the angle and incidence, angle of incidence is the angle between the incident ray and the normal, and not with the surface. Okay, and not with the surface. Surface means I am not talking about this angle. This is not called as incident ray. It is called it is the angle which is made with the surface. But we have to talk about what? We have to talk about the ray which is the incident ray with the normal is angle of incidence, and reflected ray with the normal is called as the angle of reflection. Right? Now let us try to prove this, whatever we have just now learned, that is the angle of incidence and angle of reflection are equal. Let us try to perform a small activity to prove this. So what we need to do is that again we need to take a white paper and we need to fix it on the drawing paper, and then we have to draw a line PQ so as to keep the mirror at this position. Okay, now you have to take the protractor and first mark the normal as I have mentioned to you and name it as ON. Okay, now what you have to do is that you have to take again a protractor and mark angle around 30 degree. Okay, now this angle is called as the angle of incidence. Now at this angle of incidence, that is ray AO, or we will put two pins, that is S and R. Okay, now we have to keep the mirror at this position, and then we keep it firm so that it does not fall, so with the help of the stand. Now by looking into the mirror, we need to take again two pins, and we have to keep it on the place exactly in the middle, exactly here wherein you can see the reflected ray inside the mirror. At that position you have to put those two pins, and let this we will name these two pins as pins U and T. Okay, so once you have fixed the two pins, what you have to do is that you have to remove these pins, and with the help of the ruler, now you have to draw this line which will be meeting at the point O, that is the point of incidence. Now with the help of the protractor, we need to find out the angle here. If you carefully see, the angle over here is also 30 degree. That means we have proved that the angle of incidence is also equal to the angle of reflection. That is, angle of incidence was taken as 30 degree, even the angle of reflection was 30 degree. So we have proved the first law, that is, angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. So but is it correct for all the angles? Let's see. Yes, if you try to do it even for the angle of 45 degree and the angle of 60 degree, you will find the same result we are getting. That is, again, if you try to take the mirror and fix the pins by looking into the mirror, you will find that the angle of reflection in both the cases, that is 45 degree and 60 degree, you will be getting same. So we have proved the law of reflection, that the first one, that is angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. Also you can see that the incident ray and the reflected ray are on the opposite sides of the normal, and all three rays lie in the lie in the same plane. Okay, so from this we have learned that the angle of incidence is equal to the angle of reflection. Correct? Now if we take, now we have taken 30 degree, 45 degree and 60 degree. The law of reflection is verified from this activity. Now we will see if we take an angle of 90 degree to the normal, okay, 90 degree to the plane surface, how will be the angle of reflection? Can you see over here the torch light which is incident on the mirror surface? You can see inside the mirror that it is passing straight. That means here the angle of incidence is actually what? Angle of incidence is equal to 90 degree. Correct? Therefore, according to the law of reflection, even the angle of angle of incidence should be equal to angle of reflection, and we can see that the angle of reflection is also equal to 90 degree. Correct? So we have seen that in the case of 90 degree, the ray retraces its path. Retraces path means it is going in the straight direction. Okay, because when suppose it is incident at the normal itself, of course it will pass straight behind the mirror. So for the angle of incidence equal to 90 degree, we will find that the angle of reflection is also 90 degree, and because of this it will retrace its path, means it will go into the same path without changing its direction. Whereas for all the other angles, it will change its path except 90 degree. Okay, it does not change its direction, it does not change its path. Right? I hope so you have understood about what are the different terms related to reflection. What is reflection of light? What is an incident ray? What is the point of incidence? Reflected ray. Then we have learnt about the 3 laws of reflection. We have even tried to prove the law of reflection. We have taken the 3 different angles. Also, we have seen that only at an angle of 90 degree, the ray of light does not change its direction. So, for your homework for today, what you need to do is that you need to write down all the different terms related to reflection of light. So thank you, dear students. We will learn more about regular and irregular reflection in the next video. Till then, students, bye and thank you.